Hey everyone, many blessings. I am back to do another video, another spiritual enlightening video about the things Yah has been speaking to me and guiding me to. You know, it's good to pray, but it's also good to be silent and let Yah put a word in you and speak through you. So, you know, I know it's been a while since I actually did a video on the things Yah has been telling me, but I actually wanted to take the time to pray and fast so I can get a clear word from Yah. And I pray for anyone watching this. I pray that you have been praying and fasting because we have officially lived through. This is officially the time of the land of the walking dead. And so I encourage you all to pray and fast so that you will be protected and be guided by Yah through these times, because He is what is going to get us through in these times while we are living through the land of the walking dead. So what I wanted to get into today is, you know, I was thinking about this a few weeks back, but around where I live, there's literally like 5 churches back to back to back. And one of the churches I actually attended, started attending a year or so ago, that I actually stopped attending. And one thing I thought about is I was going there and I realized that every week there's a One blood donation truck at each of these churches. So one Sunday it'll be at this church, the next Sunday it'll be at this church, the next Sunday it'll be at my old church, and the next Sunday it'll be at the next church. All of these churches are literally no more than a mile distance from each other. And the thing about the church that I was attended, it wasn't the word. The word always, you know, was relatable. It was never the word that actually, it made a negative impact on me. It was the fact that they always stressed tithing, and they always stressed giving blood, because the blood donation truck was always out there at least once a month. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but the tithing really got to me. But I didn't put the blood donation truck until, you know, literally just a few weeks ago. And I thought how strange that is, that there's a blood donation truck, and each of these churches are like really, you know, big churches. There's a blood drive out of there at least, I mean, literally every week if it wasn't at this church, it was at that church. If it wasn't at that church, it's at this church. And I thought, how weird. They either want you to give your money or give up your blood. But either way, you need to be giving up something if you're going to be attending this church. And, you know, is that really Christ-like? Is that really, you know, what Christ had intended? And then another thing I thought is, well, where does all this blood go? You know, if people are giving so much blood, is it really that many people that needs that much blood in the world? Like, there's no way for you to track where your blood goes. So where does your blood go? What do they use your blood for? These are questions that never get asked in the process. And we as people who attend church, are Christians, are Israelites, you know, we're such kind, giving people. So it's just naturally expected for us to give up this blood. But think about what do they do with your blood? This is your DNA. This is your literal blood. Do you ever think about where all of this blood goes? What do they do with it? And why? Why is it that these churches require your blood for you to attend? I started thinking about, well, maybe it's the government, because a lot of churches, because I used to work at Lowe's, and I know a lot of churches used to get tax-free, so they didn't have to pay taxes on a lot of the stuff that they would get. So I just figured, and that's through the government. So my thought is for you to be tax exempt, the government requires you to certain stipulations, and maybe one of the stipulations is that you have a blood donation truck outside of your church at least once a month. I'm coming, buddy. So that was just a thought, and I mean, it's just something for you to think about. I'm not going to go too much further into whether this is demonic or, you know, Christ-like or anything like that, but I just wanted to put this in your thought system in case you do attend a church that does this, you know. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that, you know, there's been a lot of murdering. There's been a lot of killings, and it's just going to get worse. And I did a video talking briefly about how, you know, this even happened when Obama was in office, you know, with the high school killings, with a lot of the kids going to school and shooting up the place. And it's happening again now that Biden's in office. There's going to be a lot of that. And one thing is, you're going to see a lot of teenagers, a lot of kids shooting and killing people, because Satan or Lucifer knows that children are precious. No, go. Bye. Okay, I'll be there. Go ahead. Knows that children are one of the most precious things to God. So of course he tries to corrupt children's minds, because he wants to take kids down to hell with them. And you know, 16 is the most vulnerable age, because by then you are very well liable to go to hell. And so a lot of these children who grow up in broken homes can be really lost, and can be susceptible to going out and killing people. And I hate to say, but you know, I was very well one of those kids. Like I said, I was adopted, and although I had a family that loved me, I couldn't get out of that mindset that, you know, I was literally thrown away by the people that should have loved me the most, you know. So I definitely understand where these kids are coming from, and it's just sad that they're at that vulnerable age where you're just trying to figure out life. Some people get through it without, you know, any mess ups, and then there's kids that, you know, they're in their life, you know. Good job, big boy. So yeah. And it's not just kids that's going to be murdered. It's going to be a whole bunch of people just murdering, because it's stressful times that we're living in. It's a lot of chaos and a lot of craziness going on. So my next thing is that you need to, if you haven't already started stocking up on, you know, things, food, water, start doing that now. Because I don't know if you're into like the weather and news, the accurate news, weather news, the current weather news, but there's been a lot of locusts, a lot of droughts, a lot of floods, a lot of tornadoes, just volcanic eruption. It's just been a lot. Like I don't know if you watch my video posting pre-tribulation, but I mean, it's really amping up, and a lot of our crops are being destroyed. And so, like, the food prices are also spiking up, but also there's a food shortage that we need to be aware of and be prepared for. So I encourage you all to just stock up now, start praying, start fasting, and start seeking Yah, because he is going to be our shield through these times. And if you don't have Yah, I'm sorry to tell you, but you might be liable to what's out there. And then, you know I touched base on the 3 days of darkness. Yah has not given me a date, time set. It could be tomorrow, it could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it could be literally when I'm dead. But I do know that Yah does not give me certain things without there being some accuracy to it. So I know that there will be a 3 days of darkness. I just don't know when. And I'm assuming it's going to be when I'm alive, because he's been sending me a lot of videos on 3 days of darkness, and then a lot of videos on monitoring spirits. So monitoring spirits is something I suggest anybody look up and be aware of, because there are monitoring spirits out there. Could literally be in your family, could be a friend, could be a co-worker. So just be aware of your surroundings, because you know the serpent seed is definitely out there. And if you haven't watched my video on Nephilim, watch that video. I think that is very accurate. And like these Nephilim, they are trying to now put their souls into these robots. But y'all already knows what's going on with that, and he's going to deal with that. But we need to just be prayerful, and we need to be fasting. But Yah sees, you know. And there's just so much more I want to talk about, but like I think I'm gonna take a break to just get my thoughts together on what I'm going to discuss next. But I do want to send y'all much love, peace, enlightenment, and Yah, because we need Yah, we need the Holy Spirit, we need him working and moving in our lives, and especially in these times. So much love, prayers to y'all. Blessings.